Okay, so doing some review of the standing. I know I'm like harping on this quite a bit, but this is something I've had a lot of experience in watching people fail in the standing. And they invest way more time and money into this than uh, my students, because they've only been studying, basically at most like a year, a year and a half or something. But you're going to meet people um, once you start going to workshops and traveling to meet other people, other teachers and their students, or even go to Montreal, which I was doing this past couple of years and meeting with teachers, and they have no idea what they're doing. So um, don't feel bad that um, if you feel like you're not making progress, there are specific causes to why people do not make progress in standing. Um, One thing um, is the sitting on the bar stool, um, and this it has there's a mental component where most people remain forever in their comfort zone, their comfort level, and that does not lead to transformation. So you know the thing you'll see me do and you've experienced for yourself is that I put my knee um, beneath, basically beneath your, like below your buttocks, and you have to sit down. You actually have to sung, and part of that is like dropping, relaxing the hips and the quads, and like actually dropping down as if you're sitting on a lower bar stool. And that way, the Ming Men will activate, and you'll actually start to get the chi to start to sink a little bit. And most people, um, even if they are on a timer or something, they're remaining at their current level, their current comfort zone, their current temperature. So it might be something where you need, it's either a couple things. You need someone to like help you, like, to um, um, help you sit down lower to actually sung. Um, Otherwise, it's going to feel like you're floating, and you know, alchemically, you need to be able to sink the fluids, and then to get them to go up and down the body, to release up and down the body cleanly. Um, so yeah, just the other thing is that you need to remain like exactly still. Um, for you, you need to keep your uh, you need to open the fingers as if like they're the there's like webbed, like gecko hands. So you need to open the wrist joints and to stretch open the hands a little bit more, um, to get it through your forearms, which you're having trouble with. So releasing your forearms and then through the wrist gates. Um, you're a little bit um, your toes are like your hips are pointing outwards a little bit, so just try to get it back on track, like exactly on train tracks. Um, and what you can do is if you have those lines in the floor, you can line up your feet along parallel along those lines, and they should be facing like exactly straight, um, instead of like out at a angle. Okay. Um, the next biggest thing is the quality of the mind sinking into the body in each part, as if water was soaking inside of a sponge. And yeah, the thing is that for that to happen consistently, to get the chi to sink, needs to be done pretty, with the quality of attention and awareness. So, um, so what you'll find, for example, and why push hands and structure testing is a good barometer, is that you'll find gaps inside of your body It's like where it feels like there's water that is not, um, it's not like soaked in or penetrating in, and that area is going to be pretty unconnected and empty, and that's where you're going to get pushed out. And it so there's a physical alignment um, component, and then there's also the deeper on the inside. So for most students, they cannot get their mind to start to saturate and penetrate inside of their own body, and that's when we start to have um, issues like joint alignment, fascia issues, and then deeper illnesses and issues when we can't get our mind to soak and penetrate inside of our own body. Okay. Um, if you're having trouble, yeah, you basically need to be sitting quite a bit quite a bit lower, um, and so the second posture is going to be tough if the first posture condition isn't met of actually sitting on the bar stool. And we can film a video of the correction that I do for students. You've felt that. I've done that with every student in the VA, most of them, to let them know like where their bar stool is actually at. Because it's uncomfortable, but that's how change happens. That's how transformation happens. Um, so let's move on from cross hands to um, yeah, let's move on from cross hands to V position. And you just have to, you really have to kind of get things to to still. You have to consciously still um, any movement that's going on inside of your body, and just do the process and let go through each section. Um, okay, so let's move on to raise hands. It's the same issue sitting down. Um, so for this one, you're going to need to bring your front foot a little bit further up forward, and to sit down, you've got a long way to go. So it might feel like miles down to get your butt to start to sit down on the bar stool. If you can't, you know, get that, it's the cheese gonna have a really hard time sinking, and it's going to feel again uncomfortable. This is like old old style kung fu. This is not you know whatever is at the strip mall, kung fu. Um, so yeah, if you look at the space between your coccyx, the tailbone, your butt, and your upper thigh, it's like you're sitting up really high to avoid something, and that's going to affect your nervous system. If you train your nervous system to run away from that, it's like you're training yourself to kind of run away from um, the release process, that condition. Okay. And another thing too is that's what most people in the West have been trained to do, is they think relaxing is floating up. What they call double yang is that the fluids, the bones float up, but that's not yin yang. That's not harmony. That's not uh, internal harmony. What they call like zhongding or whatever. Is the bones are up, and then the flesh melts down. But within that too, you need the structure to set, um, lower. So here again, like your feet are too close together and you're just kind of standing up as a post. You need to bring the front foot forward. If you look at pictures of Yang Chung Fu and raise hands, like it's quite a bit forward. And remember the other trick, I've been mentioning, is that once you get the position of the foot to its correct position forward, as you lower, you're going to notice that the tips of the toes start to rise. Okay, so yeah, so your left ankle's pretty disconnected again. Your hips are like floating up. You need to set it and to get it. You need to set the bones and everything a couple of levels lower, like inches lower. So it might even feel like a foot lower. And what's going to happen is that it's going to light up every area in your body that isn't um, kind of working correctly to support your structure. You know what? So, um, and so in terms of like chi development, to develop yang chi, which you need, um, especially if you're in a male body, you need like a lot of it. Um, so yeah, you just need to like chill out and keep everything still as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. And then let me check out the form and stuff. I'm not saying any of this is easy. I'm not selling quick fixes. This is just the way that I was taught in the traditional like way. Um, and it gives you a better engine in the long run. People in America like they want a better car. Um, you want a faster car, you want a better transmission and everything. This is how to get it. So, look at the form. Uh, the form is the form is advanced. Because again, if the standing is difficult, I guess it'll always be difficult. If the standing and the Negong isn't going on, the conditions aren't met, the form is kind of like not um, you're not getting your return on investment that you could be. So yeah, you just need to go a lot slower in commencement, like go through each section very slowly. So you have the elemental sections, you have the earth section, um, the water section, the air section, and the last one is the fire section of the neck and the head. But um, you need to go back and just go back through commencement quite a bit to get the chi to very slowly release and rise through each section, and it'll start to fill, and then up through the waist and then to get through the dantian. But again, if you're in the Jinlu lines aren't clear, then it's not going to really fill properly. So again, I think I gave you you have the short course. Like really work on like only the first road, I would say, and then work on like cloud hands and work on the rising and falling commencement. Um, um, the other contradiction is that there's some people that have no idea what they're talking about. Teachers will say, well, once you have the Negong, you don't need the form. You need a form. Um, you absolutely need a form, and that'll serve you like way until old age, just for like basic health. Um, so let's go back here. So here, again, drop just drop the fists lower to the hips, because once you basically you're gathering the chi from the feet. You need to go slower through each section again to rise the chi to release it. Feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, waist, dantian, and then up through the ribs. So basically, um, you're not just doing it slow, do it for slow's sake. You're doing it in sequence to get the chi and the blood to release, to open through each section. So there's a cause and effect sequence. And we can structure test to see like which sections are not going through clearly. So the previous ones, I think we even recorded, is that it's not going through the forearms very cleanly. So let's just go back to I'm only going to work on road one, because like if you can, again, if you can fix road one to a good degree, then the other roads um, the won't matter as much. It's really a quality game over quantity. Okay, so just for the left hand, the parry. Um, so just like let me see. You actually need to show me your five loose links. That's what we're missing. Okay, it's gonna end it there. Just yeah, I gotta send me your five loose links. So.